Hey, how we doing, guys?
Morning, everyone.
Joe here.
Kevin.
It's a very rainy day out there today, so if you hear some rain in the background, that's what that is.
Yeah, I can't get my personal hotspot to work, and electricity's been flickering. So I really, really hope that we don't lose power in the middle of this and lose our internet
Gonna roll the
connection.
dice.
Yeah, like good luck, us. Um,
But anyways, we're back with another episode of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, season 4, episode 11. I don't want this show to end.
no,
It's getting close though.
yeah. We're definitely in the home stretch.
Yep.
We're over the hump now in the final season. And I have loved this season. As I said before, I think this season is a payoff
I
season.
think it's the best one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's the best one. I just think that it's different. I think you're put as an audience, you're kind of put through the ringer with everyone's kind of dysfunction, especially Rebecca's in the early seasons.
Sure.
And I think the payoff is here now, where it's like, okay, Rebecca finally, after 3 years, has the tools to kind
Yeah.
of to kind of cope with all of the creeping insecurities everybody has, but she's you know she has the dysfunction that didn't allow her to deal with it, so it kind of took over her life, and she kind of spiraled out of control.
Big time.
And now she's more able to stop doing it, and because she's able to stop doing it, I've always empathized with her, of course.
Yeah.
But now it's so much easier to root for her because she seems to be right now one of the more well-adjusted people on the show.
Yeah.
It's like everyone else has finally decided, oh wait, maybe I should work on me too. But they're way behind her. Like, this is something she's been doing for a lot longer.
And for me, that's why I think this is the best season, because like you said, we had 3 seasons of us being like, Rebecca, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And now that we can see how good of a person she really is, we've
Right.
always seen that she's a good person, but like now it's really coming to the forefront.
She's always had the capacity to be a good person. She's always been conscientious when she could listen to herself. You know what I mean? It's the problem is that she couldn't
Yeah.
for so long. Like the her personality disorder kind of got in the way.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't.
And also, like,
as much.
the supporting cast is so fun. Like,
Yeah.
in the first few seasons, and like they mostly kept them separated.
Right.
And this season, we've really mixed them together,
That has been fun.
and I like that dynamic a lot too.
Getting Nathaniel in with people that aren't just the office people
the best.
has been a good time. Right.
It's really the highlight of the show for me.
Sure.
But so okay, so for my money, if it's not season 4 as the best season, I think it might be 2. Because in that season we get a little bit of Santino, and also we get some pretty good songs. I think that's the first season Nathaniel showed up in at the very end.
Yeah, I think he came relatively
At the very end of the season, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he came on the heels of Greg's leaving storyline, right? Greg leaves, Rebecca has to kind of deal with the reality of Greg not being there anymore, and then Nathaniel's introduced.
And I just enjoyed those two guys' storylines more so, her pursuing those guys more so than her pursuing Josh. I think the Josh.
I think that's fair, right? Yeah, I think musically the first season's my favorite overall.
Oh yeah, the first episode, the "Sexy Getting Ready" song.
Right. Yeah, and I just think they're bangers, bangers, bangers. But yeah, I think that's fair. The whole like, oh, Rebecca's being manipulative to try to get Josh to hang out with her, and that was kind of like the one plot that was happening for the entire first season, right up until she started dating Greg, and only for us to end up right back there at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Rebecca pursuing Josh. So it was kind of nice to get that variance moving into season 2. Like, maybe there's other things Rebecca needs, which from the first episode, there's other things Rebecca needs. From her first song.
Yeah.
But she starts to understand there might be other things that she needs or could have that might be something else for her. Still be dudes, but
I don't know. The season's kind of hiding their cards pretty well. So ultimately, what we end up with, I don't know if it's her moving away from West Covina, which I doubt, because they made such a big deal for moving.
Sure.
I'm just I'm along for the journey for her finding happiness.
Yeah. Speaking of the music, we're definitely getting less of it this season.
Yeah, a lot less.
Do you think that's intentional because Rebecca's getting healthier, so we're not in her head as much?
I never thought of that.
I was thinking about this week because I was thinking about the Cats episode. Yeah. It was like, well, that's an episode where Rebecca's after, she's not in a bad headspace,
no,
but she's after some man loving, right? And so that's what all the cats are there, is to kind of like
her hormones.
Yeah, it's kind of like her insecurities of getting back into the dating world are like really exposed through the cats, and it's like, well, overall, when she's dealing with her own personal stuff, we're not getting nearly as much music, and I wonder if it's because she just doesn't fall into that headspace as much anymore.
Yeah, and I like the idea of our anxieties and our insecurities singing at us.
Oh, that would be great.
That's a really fun idea.
I know she's had a terrible go of things, and she's up against a lot. But I am really kind of jealous of the fact that when her like stuff starts exploding in her face and her insecurities really take over, she gets a musical number out of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Dread, panic.
Yeah, exactly. White hot sheer terror is what I see.
God.
We do want to welcome a couple of Patreon subscribers for the last day or so, guys. So the letter A, finding one I will definitely not mispronounce. Jocelyn Smith, Coma, and The Dave Abides. Welcome, guys, and we're glad you're here with us.
It's an awesome last name.
Yeah, right.
If you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below. And if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button so you can stay up to date, hit that subscribe button. We'll have some new content coming your way.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched and are currently watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page, where you'll find an awful lot of content there. We are also several episodes ahead for our Patreon subscribers on this, so if you want to watch the next 4, maybe 5 episodes of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend at the end of this, you can just jump right over our Patreon page and that right there with you. We're also watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive, which is an amazing show thus far.
Hilarious.
You will have to sync and watch along on your own device or your own streaming service. We can't show all the stuff. You can just show our beautiful faces for copyright purposes. We, of course, are watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend on the Netflix.
The Netflix.
Okay. Let's get this over with. What are we doing, and what do we
New
think
Greg
this
is growing on.
I am
for
actually
sure.
glad you mentioned that.
Take it slow. I was going to say that right off the bat, but I wanted to take it slow.
And I appreciate that. Should we be kissing in public?
Oh, no, you're right. Let me think. Is that wise? But the more important question is, do I care? I truly don't care.
I like the idea they're at least going to attempt to take it slow.
Leonard.
I don't know how that works.
Dude, you gotta stop.
Nathaniel's got an unhealthy perspective here.
You're turning
Yeah,
into a
for
jilted,
sure.
broken record.
Yeah.
Like her. Girl, get out from behind that plant.
We went out for 2 amazing weeks, and then she ghosted me.
It's time to move on.
Next thing you know, she's all over that hair chewer.
I can't believe that she's with him. It's killing me, George. I feel so
George has come a long way, too.
rejected. I don't like this. It hurts. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I have to do something, George.
I think he might need his own
you guys
therapist.
talking about
Yeah.
romantic comedies? You're looking for one to watch? I'm an expert. Here are your genres.
Oh, I love
you
this. Let's
have
hear it.
your witty British ones, your
Yeah.
workplace empowerment movies, your bro-y
Yep.
ones, and my personal favorite, the late middle age fantasies where all the women wear white cashmere turtlenecks and have fantastic kitchens.
Right there with your girl. Don't worry, it's already on there. You'll get the guy. That's
A
what always
stack of
happens.
DVDs.
See, now we're seeing the male perspective of why this type of trope is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's actually bad for people.
It can make you delusional.
I was at a bar one time and I saw a guy do the Tom Cruise start singing to a girl thing because he thought he was cool.
Top Gun.
And it was just so embarrassing for everybody.
The
I'm like, you're not Tom Cruise and that's not real life.
Is he completely changing his persona?
Oh, I look awful. I'm atrocious. You're my best friend, right?
Hey,
Oh, he stepped
of
into
course
romantic
I am.
comedy
Your
headland.
best friend who loves sports, and I'm unreasonably cocky for such a slight man.
Raw. We're
I
doing
love
it.
this.
This is amazing. All right, let's get going. Come on. Hot diggity basketball. Right. I'm the ugly underdog.
Listen up, guys.
A
He's
very
here.
working girl.
Yeah, it is working,
Lace
girl. Yeah.
up your bootstraps.
Oh yeah, the cool boss is the.
Yeah. The villain cool boss
Yeah.
that all the girls want.
That's first. That's so
You're
funny.
here early, sir.
Nathaniel, you'll be point. Maya, you assist.
Yes, sir.
Rumor is
He's a real estate
Greg's
lawyer.
gonna ask Rebecca a big question, a really big question at the grand reopening soiree, to which we're all invited, the whole firm.
I love the romantic comedy trope also of an attractive person putting on glasses and all of a sudden they're ugly. Yeah.
What's that Freddie Prinze Jr. movie?
Where she's all that.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I bet you can't make her. It's a My Fair Lady, basically.
He
Yeah.
just takes the glasses off and
Right.
it's
Wait.
like, whoa.
I know, it's like you can tell that's a beautiful girl in glasses.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
She's unrealistically gorgeous.
Yeah.
And he looks like a total douche.
Nathaniel, what are you doing down here? Why are you with Maya? I mean, God, you guys have nothing in common. Seeing the two of them together, it's just like ridiculous.
I have an idea. Just follow my lead, okay?
Oh my god.
Oh no, they're setting him up to his romantic comedy trope of like, we'll make each other jealous and we'll get our
That's hilarious.
others.
And they end up falling for each other.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
my
we're
God.
off.
And we're off. I love that he's the only one that can see what's happening. That's so
Right,
funny.
yeah, for sure.
believe it.
In the real world would have gotten
Rebecca will
fired from
realize
your
she
job.
wants
Yeah.
back.
And
Some
what's
harassment
in it
charges
for
there,
me?
yeah.
Joanne.
Huh.
Who cares about the client? Do you want to work or do you want to fall in love?
My dead mother always told me that I could do both.
Building karaoke, that's perfect. That's where we can flaunt our
Everyone
love
from
with a
Rebecca's.
sexy
Rebecca and
love
AJ?
duet.
Yeah.
That'll make Rebecca and Joanne seethe with jealousy.
I didn't recognize you.
I know. I don't know what happened in there. I don't remember taking a shower, and my contacts were definitely not in that little room, but they're in my eyes now.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
A
Look,
dress.
She put on a dress and took off her glasses, and now, wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm watching romantic comedies later. That's what's happening.
It does bring back a lot of them watching this, doesn't
I
it?
love it.
They are mostly stupid, but they're really innocuous and can be a lot of fun.
They're easy and so much fun.
Right.
Yeah, Nathaniel and Maya, get up here.
Summer Lovin' from Greece.
That's a good one, too.
That'd be-
Did it work? I mean, are they jealous, or is she gonna want me back now?
I wonder if at the end of this episode, if those two are going to be dating, like the actual
Maya,
characters.
yeah. I mean, all right, I didn't see that coming, but
Rebecca and Joanne walked out.
But we don't know why they left. Maybe they left because they were so jealous.
It's this part where he realizes he's in love with her.
yeah, they're gonna find each other in a public space.
Joanne is the client?
That is gonna suck. I really don't want to see her.
This is your grand gesture. You get one too.
Whoa. That could work.
We gotta get to work. Come on.
He's gonna get the speech,
All right.
and he's gonna be looking at Maya the whole time.
For sure. That's how these end, yeah.
Somewhere.
It'll work for both of them, and they'll both realize, no, wait. I really want Maya.
And then they embrace.
Yeah.
I love how we know exactly where this is going, and we're like, what? Into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the beauty of romantic comedies, is you almost always know exactly where they're going about 4 minutes in, you know?
Is there any romantic comedy where they don't end up together?
Wasn't there a Jennifer Aniston and
Oh, with Vince Vaughn?
one?
The breakup.
Yeah, the breakup, where they don't. Yeah. And
a
I
great movie.
really like that, yeah.
Absolutely.
Write that down.
This is the
Write
falling
it
in
down.
love montage here.
Write that down.
This is perfect.
Yeah, there we go. Here's a nice gesture where she's like, he's a nice guy.
And he's realizing how much he has feelings for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it like we practiced.
Welcome.
I had no idea you were so wise and smart and poised. What a great speech.
Thanks.
Maybe I never should have let you go.
God, yeah.
Would you like to go talk about your proposal more at the wine bar over on Foothill? That hair chewer? I already dumped that piece of trash. Texted her while
God.
we were talking.
Text her while you were talking.
Really? Now get to that Serrano's opening and win back the girl you love.
The girl I love. Yeah, sure.
Oh, of course.
You're gonna do great.
I can't believe how many of these cliches I'm like replaying in my head from movies that I've seen. Like he's about to confess everything and she gets interrupted. We need to go.
I realize they're bad, but
Right.
this is really pointing out how bad they are.
For sure.
The guy's a little nod.
This is where he says he realizes he's in love with Maya.
Yeah.
Yep.
They know
I don't want to
this
say
so
it
bad.
anymore.
Especially the incidental music behind it.
Not here, anyway. I'm sorry. I have to go. I have something to tell you.
Okay.
It's you. It's always been you. I was a fool.
Always
I
been
couldn't
you,
see.
God.
But you've been here all along. We're that mismatched couple from different worlds that can make it. We've
We're in
had
front of her
such
date.
happy moments, you and I, haven't we?
We're talking to
Please.
Rebecca. Rebecca instead.
Let me be
Oh.
happy. 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 Happy.
Please, if you really love me, you have to let me go. Please. You need to move on from me. To another short, quirky girl. Or to someone else.
Do you know how I can let her go?
Oh. That was really sad.
It was. I like that journey that he went through.
I'm glad that he can realize that without it.
It was all, yeah, I'm glad it wasn't her having to tell him. Yeah.
Greg and I are.
You're together. I know.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
So, what did you learn?
something I really didn't want to know. I gotta let you go. Glad you're
Right.
happy. I really am. And it makes me happy too.
That's amazing.
This is such a fun episode.
I'm glad that it was a daydream and it wasn't like his skewed vision on reality.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I did too for a second.
I did it all right up until he snapped out of it in his apartment. I thought, what a clever twist. He's doing all this, and all these things he's saying, he's actually saying to Rebecca.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even it. He hadn't even left his apartment. He was just kind of working through it kind of like she did.
Yeah.
And I thought that was perfect.
I did too, because it'd be kind of dark if he was just imagining that the whole time. And all of a sudden it's like,
yeah.
Is he going to the loony bin? Yeah.
Right. I mean, she's had those level of delusions too.
She has.
And I'm really glad it was kind of different with him.
Mm-hmm.
That he just kind of worked through it kind of by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was healthy. And let's face it, it was also a really great time seeing all of those romantic comedy tropes parodied so well.
That we called. Yeah,
perfect.
we
Yeah,
called all of them.
Yeah.
They did it on purpose, obviously. It was a very intentional episode.
Sure.
I love it when they play with genre. It's my favorite thing ever. The Swim Fan episode, I think, is my favorite episode of the show. I've said that before. Right. This is up there for me now too.
Gotta be, right?
And you called it with the music numbers. We had one music number,
and it was Nathaniel's in his head, and Rebecca's getting away from him.
Very minimalist too.
Yeah, it was.
It was just two people on a stage. There wasn't a big set. There wasn't any dancing really.
Right, and it was just Nathaniel.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I mean, it really speaks to how far she's come. It's a little ambiguous with the ending there, whether or not she is totally over him. I mean, I think it is, but she has these facial expressions, and like we've seen her already kind of struggle with this in this season.
Yeah, I don't think it's terribly wrong what we said last time, where we asked last time of, does she really want Greg,
mm-hmm.
or is it just because Greg's the first one who showed up and said, let's give this a try? If Nathaniel had showed up first, would it have been him instead?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm wondering that more and more because, I mean, the name of the episode was I'm Almost Over You, which means she's not quite there.
And the episode titles, as we know, are from her perspective.
They have been this season, right? Yeah. We went forever with questions. We went with exclamation marks,
periods,
and now we don't have any punctuation
at all.
And it was I think I'm over you, but they all have been from. I mean, since episode 1,
mm-hmm.
they've all been from Rebecca's perspective. So I don't see any reason to change that now, even though the episode
mm-hmm.
was from Nathaniel's perspective entirely.
But the episodes they do like genre parodies,
right?
Tend to be from other characters' perspective. Like the Swim Fan episode is very much from Josh's.
It was.
They kind of split the difference on that. It also had a lot of Rebecca in it as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This one exclusively him.
Yeah, this was all like a Nathaniel daydream for the whole episode.
And I think that's fair. I think that his character has earned that because we haven't really spent a lot of time with him since that they broke up and she cut it off with him. I mean, he's been in the show obviously, but I mean. This is the most time we spent with Nathaniel since season 3, season 2.
All we've really gotten from him, his arc this season has just been, I'm going to try to be a nicer person because I've been kind of a monster, right?
Yeah.
Which is a nice arc. It's a nice change for him. But this is the first time we've kind of gotten any type of nuance with that. You know what I mean? It's like Nathaniel is a rich, selfish, privileged guy who now all of a sudden is trying to be considerate of other people. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Now let's add some layers to that, and it's like Nathaniel is really living with some self-doubt right now.
He is. And it's nice to see other characters' insecurities. I know that sounds a little dark.
No, but that's depth to the show.
It does have depth to the show. It's not what the show was making fun of in this episode.
Right. I mean, how many movies and even TV shows have you watched where characters get short shrift, and it's like, like say you watch a horror movie, right? Any slasher movie, and characters start dropping off, and it's like
a formula.
It's got a formula, but also it's like I don't really care because I don't know anything about these people. We didn't let these characters breathe at all. Yeah. So why should I care about any of these people who are no longer in the movie, right?
Exactly.
And these characters, we've given them 4 seasons now, and we're adding depth to them in the 4th season, right? Now we can really, now that we really know who these people are, what their relationships are, we're letting them breathe a little bit, and we're seeing some layers to them, which makes us. I mean, we got it early on with Paula.
Yeah.
We did it last season with Josh.
Mm-hmm.
We did it with Greg at the end of the 1st season because I'm sure because the show knew they were writing him off.
Yeah. We'll be
and now we're getting into it with Nathaniel, right? Where we're getting like, okay, now that we really know this guy, let's get to know the layers of him. We did it with Daryl.
We did do it with Daryl, yeah. Well, how many shows like this play the long game and it's just exhausting? This is the opposite. This is a show where the long game is really part of the experience. It's all long game, man.
Right.
Like they plan everything out so perfectly, and it makes the payoff so satisfying. I mean,
which is why it's not. I don't tell people that this is a comedy when I tell them about it, because it is
deeply
right.
funny. Yeah,
It's hilarious, but there's so much more to it than that. Like when you watch, pick a sitcom, right? Most sitcoms, there aren't really character arcs because that's not what they're there for, right? They're there to be funny and have these characters, largely tropes, sometimes not, but we don't watch The Office to see Dwight Schrute go through any kind of arc. We watch Dwight to be Dwight, right? We watch Jim and Pam to be Jim and Pam. We watch Michael to be Michael and and lack self-awareness and put his foot in his mouth. And and it's great. And I'm not knocking it. It's a wonderful show. And with 100 and something great episodes. But that's what that is. And this isn't that, right? No. This isn't. You can't call this anything remotely close to a sitcom because you have real. Yeah, it is because you have real character arcs happening here.
Well, I like that. I think that more shows today, because like sitcoms have been around for 50 years.
God, you go back to like I Love Lucy, and
Yeah, so 60 years. You know what I mean? Like they really should.
Father Knows Best. Yeah,
they really. More shows today should be playing with the formula, and they should be doing new things. Swing for the fences, take big risks. I mean, obviously sitcoms are safe, and some of them are a surefire hit. But as we're seeing now, people are smart, man. We kind of bag on social media on like shows like The West Wing when it's used politically, but as far as like entertainment goes, I think more people now, because of social media, understand sitcoms, they understand movies, and they want something different. And you should switch it up a little bit.
By the way, Joe's saying we slam on the social media aspect, not slamming on West Wing.
No,
we love West Wing.
Yeah, we love West Wing.
It's like, did you just say we hate the West Wing? Oh, okay, I get it. You're saying the social media
aspect of
I just want to make sure that people weren't processing as slowly as I clearly was there. But I think you're right. And I think, like, if you take a look at, like, Ted Lasso, right?
Yes.
That started off as a feel-good sitcom, but really in 3 short seasons morphed completely into something else. And this show has too. Yeah. And you got to, like, really respect Schitt's Creek. Yeah. Right? It's a different show moving forward, right? It's morphed into something else. And you really have to respect the patience and the talent and the creativity of not just the cast, but of the writers and the directors and the showrunners to deliberately take one thing and then subvert your expectations of where we're actually going with the characters and with the stories.
Exactly.
And this has done it. I honestly, when we started the show, thought it was hilarious. And I thought, we're going to get to the show and it's going to be about, is Rebecca self-confident now? And what man is she going to be with? It's like, oh, this show's not about Rebecca finds the confidence to love herself. It's about Rebecca working through actual serious issues to become a complete healthy person. Yeah. And dating is part of that because it is for all people, right? Exactly. Or for most people anyway.
Exactly.
And that's part of navigating life, is navigating personal relationships. But it's not all of what she is. No. And I expected us to kind of end with, Rebecca feels better about herself, and now she's ready for a healthy relationship, and here's her healthy relationship. And this show's done so much more than that.
It has. And I'm glad we stuck with it, too. We never intended to drop the show.
No, we never thought about dropping the show.
Obviously, I think it was in season 2, we were getting kind of frustrated. Maybe even in season 1.
It's intentional. I think the writing is like, let's see how far we can push these guys or the audience in general
and all
with Rebecca.
To wait. Just to wait and see what happens. Right. And I'm so glad that, like, the payoff has been so gratifying.
Yeah, this season has been very rewarding, honestly. I have a friend who watched like 9 episodes. Yeah. I can't get her to go back and watch them again. But I'm like, all right, but you are really missing some really good stuff.
Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. This is one of the best shows that we've seen on the channel, and I'm sad that we're
now. Yeah, we've got like 7 episodes left now?
I think
7 or 8 episodes?
So yeah, we have like 6 left, I think.
I think there's 18, so like 7 episodes left.
Okay, yeah.
Still, that's not very much.
Yeah, no. We're going to savor it.
Yeah, we are, for sure. We'll catch you next one, guys.
See ya.